The steam from Maya's coffee curled into the crisp morning air, a small comfort against the backdrop of a quiet suburban street in Atlanta. For the past 2 years, the Thompson household had become a familiar rhythm in her life: the soft hum of the dishwasher, the scent of freshly baked cookies, and the energetic chatter of their 2 children, Liam and Olivia. Those kids were bright sparks, full of endless questions and boundless energy. Maya, amidst her chores, often found herself drawn to their schoolwork scattered on the kitchen island. History projects turned into shared explorations, math problems became intriguing puzzles they tackled. Together, Mrs. Thompson, a driven marketing executive, valued the extra support. Mr. Thompson, a software engineer working remotely, trusted Maya's quiet competence, but it was Liam and Olivia who truly saw past her role. They saw someone who knew things, who could explain the confusing parts of their homework in ways that made sense. One Wednesday, a particularly daunting science assignment landed on the counter: the complexities of the solar system. Liam scrunched up his nose. Olivia let out a dramatic sigh. Maya, folding laundry nearby, offered a simple analogy about planets dancing around the sun. Their faces brightened. Suddenly, the vastness of space seemed a little less intimidating. This became their unspoken routine. After her tasks were done, before their parents finished their workdays, Maya would sit with them, her own half-forgotten knowledge resurfacing. Their grades improved, their understanding deepened. Their teacher, Mr. Harrison, noticed the marked difference in their engagement and comprehension. One afternoon, during virtual parent-teacher conferences, Mr. Harrison commented on their impressive progress. Mrs. Thompson, multitasking as always, mentioned they had been more focused lately. She didn't specifically mention Maya. It wasn't a deliberate omission, just a detail lost in the whirlwind of her busy life. But Maya, organizing the pantry within earshot, felt a familiar sense of being unseen, part of the furniture, not quite part of the conversation. A few weeks later, the school announced a statewide robotics competition. Liam and Olivia were thrilled, their newfound academic confidence fueling their ambition. They huddled with Maya, sketching designs and discussing engineering principles, their enthusiasm contagious. Maya, careful not to impose her own ideas, guided their research. Her own latent interest in technology rekindled. Their robot, a cleverly designed automated gardener, was both innovative and well executed. Their presentation was articulate and passionate, impressing the judges. They won their division. The school celebrated their achievement. The Thompsons were overjoyed, hosting a small barbecue in their backyard. Neighbors and friends gathered, congratulating Liam and Olivia on their ingenuity. Maya served lemonade, a quiet smile playing on her lips, but during the celebration, a remark from Mrs. Thompson's mother struck a discordant note. They get their brains from their parents, that's for sure. Smart family. The words lingered in the air, subtly erasing Maya's influence. Liam, however, glanced at Maya, a thoughtful expression on his young face. The day the state results were announced, the family gathered around the laptop, anticipation hanging thick in the air. Liam and Olivia had placed third in the state. The local news ran a segment, a picture of the proud siblings flanked by their parents. Maya stood slightly behind, a peripheral figure. Mr. Harrison, however, remembered the insightful questions Liam and Olivia had started asking, the depth of their understanding. He suspected there was more to their success than met the eye. One afternoon, Mr. Harrison made a home visit, wanting to better understand the supportive environment that had fostered such growth. He found Maya patiently explaining the principles of gear ratios to Olivia, using everyday examples that made the complex concept accessible. A conversation unfolded, starting with polite inquiries and evolving into a shared appreciation for the power of learning and the joy of witnessing a child's understanding blossom. Mr. Harrison learned about Maya's own interrupted education, her aspirations of becoming a nurse put on hold due to family circumstances. He observed the genuine connection between Maya and the children, a bond built on mutual respect and a shared intellectual curiosity. A few days later, Mr. Harrison took an unexpected step. He contacted the local community college inquiring about nursing programs and potential scholarships. He spoke of a bright young woman with a natural aptitude for teaching and a deep desire to learn, someone whose potential deserved to be nurtured. The community college, intrigued by this recommendation, reached out to the Thompson family. The initial conversation was a surprise. Mrs. Thompson, protective of her family's routine, was initially hesitant. Mr. Thompson, however, was intrigued. Liam and Olivia, overhearing the conversation, eagerly shared how Maya helped them with their homework, making learning fun and understandable. They described their study sessions, the way Maya broke down complicated topics, her unwavering encouragement and belief in their abilities. Maya, usually so self-effacing, found herself sharing her own story, her lifelong dream of working in healthcare, the obstacles she had faced. The community college offered Maya a partial scholarship and flexible class schedules that could work around her responsibilities. The news was met with a mix of emotions: excitement from Maya, surprise, and a touch of guilt from the Thompsons. Mrs. Thompson, reflecting on her own busy life, realized she had taken Maya's contributions for granted. Mr. Thompson saw an opportunity to support someone who had enriched his children's lives. That evening, they had a heartfelt conversation with Maya. There were no accusations, only sincere apologies for not fully recognizing her potential and deep gratitude for her impact on their children. They assured her of their full support, offering to adjust her work hours and provide resources to help her succeed in her studies. But the most touching gesture came from Liam and Olivia. They presented Maya with a handmade card filled with drawings of stethoscopes and smiling faces. Inside they had pooled their allowance to buy her a set of new nursing textbooks. Tears welled up in Maya's eyes. It wasn't just the gift, but the profound sense of being seen, truly seen, that moved her deeply. The journey ahead wouldn't be easy. Balancing work and studies would be challenging, but Maya had found champions in the most unexpected places. Mr. Harrison continued to be a mentor, offering guidance and encouragement. The community college provided a supportive learning environment. The Thompsons, now fully aware of Maya's aspirations, became her biggest cheerleaders, celebrating her small victories and offering unwavering support during difficult times. Maya continued to care for their home and their children, but now with a renewed sense of purpose, her own dreams within reach. Liam and Olivia learned a powerful lesson about recognizing the value and potential in everyone, regardless of their role. Life in the quiet Atlanta suburb unfolded, revealing the hidden depths of human connection and the transformative power of recognizing and nurturing individual potential. It was a reminder that inspiration and intellect can be found in the most unexpected corners of our lives, waiting for the right moment to shine, and that sometimes the greatest impact comes from those who work quietly in the background, their influence rippling outwards in unforeseen and beautiful ways.